Odiochieng' machielo ma kenda doga moso kaka na wacho chien kanyo ani luonga ni Kawango Agot ani mama motelo ni KISIHOMI kata ng'ama nochako KISIHOMI. I'm the founder of KISIHOMI. And kaka nwa wacho kawuono wadwa donje i KISIHOMI ni en ang'o to en gi plan mane. Tadwa ni kapok achako wacho ni KISIHOMI en ang'o. Nitie gimoro mane ng'ato mabe ja kabila moro machielo mano olo mane kasomo taneno ka odonjo na gi gima wadwa timo mar KISIHOMI ni. Nitie penjo moko mano penjo manyiso wa ni to nitie gima dhi marach. To yiena mondo asom kaka no wacho tabro wacho ye kapok wadhi e KISIHOMI. Ok ni ene mno miya chako KISIHOMI. Wach KISIHOMI en gima na chako paro chon. En gima na chako paro actually 2008. Na chako paro wach KISIHOMI na benda share gi jomoko ni adwa chako gimoro tadwa ni mondo wariwre lwedo mondo wachak gima iluongo ni KISIHOMI. An nyinge ni bende ji ema nowacho ni KISIHOMI nwang'iyo ni Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay, Migori, Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay, KISIHOMI, Kimohisi, Kiang'o, and then people decided ni KISIHOMI ne yot wacho moloyo. Kore man wachako KISIHOMI. To mano biro kane way back tulo mano wuok 2007 nyaka chake 2008. Koro migao matie miluongo ni Impact mana wacho session moro ne wa receive jogo moa oko twatimo negi counseling and directing them to homes St. Stephen's Cathedral Kisumu. Koro gimoro notimre ni staff wa moro nitie mano wadgi no chod wiye Naivasha modwa ike maonge wiye moji osechope bur kako ridwa ike kore ka simu chopo no yud wiye. Koro baso gole odogo duoke ginane odogo duoke mochari kirito wiye mondo bi monde ko ike. And then I sat back to wacho ni yawa nitie jowa moko mabende dhi tiyo oko nikech wanwa onge gi nafasi manitie thuche wakoni ma vijende nyalo tiye. Nitie tich to nyaka ng'ato tika mora ma tich owuokie. Oko wach ni jowa nyaka timne gwengewa. To wacho ni nitie moko ma oko chuno ni ne nyaka dhi oko. Nitie jogo mane ubiro mang'eny mane dwaro tich karwa mar Impact mane oriembo tulo nogolo Naivasha, golo Nakuru. Ema bas wawacho ni yawa ere kaka wan wawegi wan gi mwandu e kindwa ka. Ere kaka wan wawegi wanyalo yudo yo ma vijende wasio lazima waende inje ka gima gitimo malong'o onge. Okawach ni mano negino ne onge gima timo malong'o to ne en gima mi okelo gine pachwa ni nyathini dine bed ni oyudo ne tiyo kata kamoro machielo. Ok gima chal kamade notimre. Ema na chako go paro wach KISIHOMI but aduoga wach ni adich mesa na upongi gik mang'eny matimo ng'ato machielo be bro paro mano. So I've waited ni ng'ato parie mano higni emadhi nyaka kendo nya paro ni asechopo higni 60 gi wiye abro retire. Let me bring it because maybe nobody else is thinking about how we can do this as Joluo. Koro kadok chien gima ne awacho ni ng'ato no ke openjo moro ni Joluo oko Jaluo to penjo moko ma modonje iye ma wacho ni maya dieri magi penjo monego wapenjre. Owacho ni the Luo community are very distinct in Kenya and pride themselves in producing academicians. To mano adier. Wagolo academicians, wariek, value education kendo wasomo. Mano to gima wan go. But why is the big question? Tamedo ni the troubling questions ma Joluo nego penjre en magi. To magi en mopenjo tadwa ni mondo wapenjre penjo gi kata wan wawegi. Openjo ni are you aware that you are the most threatened community with extinction in Kenya? Wan nie dot ma gik matimre gik madhi mbele wabro chopo kama koro watimre nadi waonge kata ka wantie to waseriwre jomoko makoro kinyalo wacho ni Joluo ne nitie kaeri. Jomoko semadhowa mwadonje igi makoro kinyal ng'eyo kata ni ne wan a distinct community. Odogo penjo mar ariyo ni are you aware that your geographical location of land is being snatched by outside communities? Openjo ni who owns Kisumu? Openjo ni Kisumu and Luo land is being grabbed for development by non-Luo industrialists and developers while you Luos sleep. Nitie samadi ne mano wang'o iya. To nitie sama you sit back and reflect. Tiwacho ni owache to yenyewe kiduogi reflect. Tiwacho ineno ni gimo wacho na adier. Nikech parare lope manie gweng'u. Ng'ato ka ng'ato kama nitie kama iwinja. Parare lope me gweng'u. Parare dukni me gweng'u, parare hardwares me gweng'u, parare supermarkets me gweng'u. A lot of them iyudo ka gikawgi gi jomoa oko. Ikawgi gi jomoa oko, kuondego ema nyiepe, kuondego ema wadhiye, koro miyo jogo ema yudo profit kuom pesa wa mwatiyogo. Watiyo gi pesa, idhi tich iduogo, to profit imiyo ng'ama chielo. And so he's asking ni ng'ano ma own land, ng'ano ma own Kisumu, and you can lift this miduogi pargo gweng'u. The other day nyicha oro ng'ato mondo odhiyo support na mama moro na winjo case ne, mana neno kodonjo na mane tuo to hana namna. Koro kodhi to an ga gi from the time akoro nyicha a revive wach KISIHOMI ni, an ga gi mission achiel ni kadwa nyiepo ta nyiepe duk jaluo. And koro an ka mi pesa ni pesa na mitiyogo ta nyisi na dwa ni dhi nyiepe duk jaluo. Koro nyisa no dhi Sidindi to owacho ni duka mano dhi nyiepe ga mayande mar jayala moro. Kodhi to yudo ka koria ema tinde use. And that is the same story everywhere. And so this person who is not a Luo is asking me, who owns Kisumu? Who owns the land? Megewa. We own them. An example of Kamantieni. Somebody no biro mo aoko, or you hang at also 10 acres in Chakruok, also at 350 shillings per acre. Toni kesho kwari ure kanya chiel to waonge kipesa mang'eny, ng'ato aoko mo biro nyiewo the 10 acres. Kose nyiewo the 10 acres, ing'e gimotimo, odwaro tinga to dhi oyiecho go, obete to oyiecho go wang' yo madonjo kanyo. Gitinga tu, okana no kete lam, ae to baso poge into quarter. To quarter mopoge ni, also each quarter 350,000, the same amount manonye go 1 acre. Koro uso go 1 quarter. Tigegi mwawacho, majo koro gwen mwawacho, yawa, mano to beri yawa, kendo uso maber 350 to nyala afford. 350 to nyala afford. What they don't know, no nyeo gimoro mar 350, 1 quarter of gimadi no nyeo ango, dino nyeo go 1 acre. If they had come together, mondo giriwre gi yud this 3.5 million, mondo ginyiew go this 10 acres, mondo ngato pogre 1 acre, to you 1 acre at 350 rather than quarter an acre at 350. That guy left with 400% profit. Koro konyew gi 350, koro no gi 300% profit. Onyew kuom jaluo, o uso ni jaluo. Jaluo woro kaka koro beyo go maber. Ya 1 quarter gi 350 mano ber, without thinking that wait a minute. 1 quarter gi 350, no, was 1 acre gi 350, but because I could not afford the 10 acres the chiel mangani dedwa uso, ngama oko biro nyeo, kai to pogo, and then akao, tanyo with the same price. So that's why we are talking about riwruok and teko. You don't riuri, you cannot afford something as an individual. But when you come together, example machiwono, and okena example and gimotimre sometime last year. If you had 10 people moving together, imagine you would have gotten 1 acre at 350. Now you are getting 1 quarter at 350 and feeling so proud of yourself. And so we need to come together. The other question on what Luos, you do not own or control land and enterprises in Kisumu with the means of sustaining them. And he says, in a matter of time, the Luo nation, intelligent as it is, will be extinct. We shall be extinct. And he says that the remaining will be employees of the new masters. Manigi supermarkets, manigi hardwares, munye lope koni, madinadi, we shall be their masters. So they will be our masters. He says, go to the lands inhabited by other communities. Those who have a strong control over the resources are from those communities. Jokmanigi control over the resources are from those communities. So they are developing their own communities, giving control over the resources, makanyo, and then gibiro koni, and then they now are going to control resources maka. And I would say they want one indo literally, but one indo ni catch. Do you think that ni moja ni mbili ni tatu? When you count it all together, it's like we are losing our land, we are losing our resources a rate manimalo kawareo gi kanyakla. So he said that the problem with you Luo people is that you are not interested in running businesses, and that is true. Okwaidwar ohala waluoro, wan garaka, wadwan wayud idwan yudo ohala piyo. Gini chako 2-3 months, gini be gima miya onge, isewe kanyo. We want big profit, we want it quickly like yesterday. Makok wayudo, tise give up. Wa onge gisinani, wa onge gikinda. Mondi timi yud matin until you reach where you want to reach. And so he says that in order for Luo people to own your land, your city and your towns, you have to own it with the economic means, not with the mouth. Ok kende. Do wato sekta, wangete, wangegogine, wano puonj waktimango. But at the same time, samo puonjo madho wangeny moko nyal riwore mondo wa reclaim our land, wa reclaim ourselves, we reclaim what belongs to us. The others are coming in and taking. Before you realize, like, oops, when did this happen? It happened, Kawango, but we care. And I'm going to have another podcast on just the things that is making it difficult for us to actually come together and the things that we must confront. Kapoko move forward as a united community. And so, he says that we should lay down a strong economic foundation for now and for future generations. And to lay down a strong foundation is with economic means and not with the mouth. Because we talk with the mouth, togi kao. One wal also togi kao. One wal also togi kao. And give a bear called Wayani, one year no Kobagwaga. Okibidi ni an okanyal nyepe dukani. Jogo nyalo ka dokata duki angwen. Odi nyepe dukamara beach dikech marka bindigi. And so Mano is something that we as KISIHOMI are particular about. These questions are the questions mawabede wapenjo, penjo gie mawapenjo, mondo wange nito, where did the rain start beating us? And how can we now change the course, mondo wa move? So KISIHOMI kaka wase wacho, chien kanyo adu kaka samoro mokukumu se winjo tiendeni, Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay, Migori. The first 2 letters of each county. KISIHOMI. Vision wa Kisumu wajoni a holistically empowered KISIHOMI community. Kwa luo KISIHOMI community, it means in communities moda along Lake Victoria. In short, Enanyola. So empowering us as a community holistically. Yani all aspects of development or empowerment. What is our mission? Mission is to catalyze family and community-driven development. Development of Moa Oko, development is starting with the family, with the community, so that we start with the family and expand to the community and develop as Anyola, as Onagi. And our motto, and I want us to pay attention to this kwanyali. Wachikare hii ni motto wa enamo. Kisungu wacho ni motto wa en, we are the change we have been waiting for. Wane lokruok mwasebedo kwa rito. In other words, onge kuma lokruok bro anwa kwa oko. Dine beni na anwa kwa oko, donge dikoro waseyudo. Dikoro waseyudo lokruok, no? Twayudo ka lokruok nitie to eni ondam ma ok dhi kaka wadwaro. Wadwa ni lokruok wa odhi a little faster rather than kidam. And so we are, which means that you and I are the change that we've been waiting for. So let's not wait for somebody to give us the change. Tusizoee ya kupewa, tusizoee ya kufanyiwa, tusizoee yuko jamna. Let's roll up our sleeves and get the work done. And wawache in short gidoluoni wagere kendwa. So when you look at our logo, KISIHOMI triple D, which is Dongruok Dala Kadala, abro loso kumano a podcast machielo, but wagere kendwa. We are building ourselves. We are the change we've been waiting for. And so what are our core values? And kan angogiri mwachungi misemana magegiri mwachungi mokuango, and we are purpose driven. We want to empower individuals and families and the community to believe in and act on their ability to initiate change. In other words, you don't just believe. A lot of us tunaishia kubelieve. We believe we can change. We believe we can, but you're not doing anything about it. We need to believe in we can and do something to show that we can. And we want to keep our focus on development. Jomachielo ma focus gini elsewhere. We are not saying you stop, but we are saying me wa part of your focus. Mario be siasa. Tombiwa matin be bonoriango e development mara nyuola. The second core value is inclusion. Inclusion manyiso ni wariwo everybody. Okejo okwadwa ni jomoko mondo feel left out. Which means we want to grow ourselves. So grow yourself as an individual, as a family, as a household. As you also grow others with the goal of leaving no one behind. Because kaka nyuola, wahero dongre makoro ini the bull of the village, ini means weri, ini mi mata, wane joma mata ka, wane joma kobiro to koro jimado chai, chak, mukati korgwen. But whose hand are you holding? As you go up, you also hold somebody. Another podcast, me, I have held the hands of over 10,000 people through employing them. And employing them not with government funds. Employing them with funds from donors. Ma andiko proposal tienogo kinyi kodi uching Monday to Monday, January to December. To be able to get money. And over 90%, 80 to 90% of Joma sendiko ginanyola. And that's one thing, that's my pride, and that is my legacy. So what I'm doing, this KISIHOMI is not my legacy. I already have a legacy. And so, the key thing is that I have held those hands. Niti must hold directly, Niti must hold through employment, Niti must hold through mentorship, Niti must hold through different means. So the thing is, it is inclusion. Grow yourself as you grow somebody else. And you can see the impact of that. And we are going to start as our motto starting December, what we call Adopt a Widow. Adopt a Widow is that kila ngato ngiar chien dala kumo ae. Parare any widow ma you think is genuinely in need. I'm not talking about the lazy ones. No, I'm talking about one that is either unable to work or otemo to chokne kama entie. See how you can hold that person. Whether you get on an odd kaponi or ketre, ikonye something. So we are going to have an initiative that is called Adopt a Widow. Every year we'll be having an initiative. Every year we'll be having an initiative. It may be Adopt a Student. It may be Adopt a School, so that you think about your primary school. Maybe gionge choche, ure together kaka jemano somo kanyo, ugero choche, and so on. So our immediate one, the first one is Adopt a Widow. Think of a widow wherever they are. Think of just one. You can adopt more, but think of just one. If each one of us could pick a widow and support them, because you always think, no, ngat manigo. By the way, one thing that you forget, there are so many people that are below you that are looking up to you and thinking, you need to be like somebody who is higher. And so let's appreciate where we are and know that there's somebody that we can help. The next core value is integrity and accountability. Integrity in terms of what Chakruok KISIHOMI, but we don't want people who are coming on board because they think there's something to gain from it. KISIHOMI is a service. And so anybody might be on board, because you want to serve the community. Give Martin Bele in a local mori e your chelaria deck. How can I give Kaka Nyasayo say bless? Whichever way you are blessed, even the fact that you're breathing is a blessing. The fact that you is a blessing. The fact that I'm able to sit here is a blessing. The fact that I'm able to even talk is a blessing. When you think there are people who can't even talk, the fact that I'm even able to swallow saliva is a blessing. So everything that you have is a blessing, and therefore you can bless somebody else. And we want to make sure that as you are coming, that should be your focus. Being a blessing to somebody else, being of service to somebody else, being of service to the community, rather than being of service to yourself. So integrity and accountability. KISIHOMI is standing on the foundation, mise mar bedo jadiera gi jaratiro. Mondo gik mwatimo kik jokor gweng' wachni jogi dwa kwalo gini. Momiyo kik bro donjo as a leader. And another session we bro discuss kaka leadership timre bedo. What do I be biro with a mind of service, not a mind of what is in it for me. Because that's what a lot of people have. All of us are volunteering. All of us are borrowing money from this organization. Myself, I've borrowed almost over close to 3M to go and meet people. We've gone, met the county commissioners, we've met the representatives of the governors, we've met the deputy county commissioners in all the 4 counties, in all the 40 something sub-counties where there's deputy county commissioners. We've done a launch, we've done all these things without a cent from anybody, because we wanted to demonstrate if something is good enough for you, you can get your own money and do it. You are not basing ningato nigi pesa ekatim manakara, you don't have a passion for it. If you have a passion for something, you have to sacrifice for it. So integrity and accountability is important and the foundation. So those who want to join and those who want leadership, remember you're joining because this is a service. The 5th one is simplicity and sustainability. We don't want to think of need development, build factory. Of course, factories should be built. But there is the small ones that people always take for granted that actually changes lives that we want to start with. We are going to hold the county government accountable for the big things. For example, why should we have our fish processed in Thika? Really, all these years? Why should we have a head of rice being sold in Uderu? Gondong, why? So that's what we are going to hold them accountable. Why should we have, for example, Kamoroni Kamilu Nilikwa, and a fish plant, Manotho on arrival? A big facility here. It's not being used. A big facility here in Seme, it's called Hospital Monomili Wongoni Akbar, Nikajinobedo built the United Arab Emirates. It's not working. There's another one somewhere, Buta, Kitmika, Manejo, French again. There's another one somewhere in Imbo. There's another one, Olushki Mira. You can count them. There are many that are not being underutilized. I had a multi-purpose. Are we optimizing? So we are talking about those we are going to hold the county governments accountable. But there are those that we must do ourselves. I don't expect my governor to come and doyona. Puthani ndogi buya. I'm the long governor because I'm the long MP. Of course not. So what is it that I can do as me and as my family, as my village, and what is it that I expect the county government? So that we don't just sit and say, Sirkal's idea. There's the role of Sirkal, and there's my role, and there's our role as a community. So we want to do simplicity and sustainable, because the things that you do on your own, mapeso ko anioko, emome wachoko pesa, will last, rather than the things that oa oko. And then finally, we are non-partisan. Our last core value, we are non-partisan. Manyizoni okwaungre side, morokra side machielo. Obeyed key religion, obeyed politics, obeyed social group, obeyed what? We don't. Because remember we said, KISIHOMI, we want it to be inclusive. What do everybody feels in my endalawa, I belong here. Okan Kimira, KISIHOMI, I belong here. I am a son and a daughter of this place. And so we don't owe allegiance to any political party. We don't owe allegiance to any religious group. We don't owe allegiance to any social group. We owe allegiance to the KISIHOMI community, and only to the KISIHOMI community. So I want to really run through our objectives. So we've looked at our core values, our mission, vision, and motto. We've looked at our core values. So what are our objectives? What do we want to achieve? What do I achieve more? What do we want to sensitize communities in the region, all of us? What do we want to sensitize ourselves? Mondo what tap into local resources that are available to improve our livelihoods. One year anyone in Mwando. Nitie sessions mabro se Mwando ma what we can do. One gi Mwando mangeny ma are not utilized, or what he called yo maduare e yo makare. One gi Mwando mogundo. So how can we sensitize ourselves to use those Mwando ma wangono to maximize? The second is now build our capacity. So we identify the Mwandu, we sensitize communities to identify the Mwandu, then build our capacity to drive our own development. Sio development ile inatoka nje. Because as we all know, mokelnwa karumo to ibet piny podirito. When I was talking to somebody to the county commissioner Masiaya, kind of introduced KISIHOMI, no actually last year no purniji, kose purniji, to not last year, chiri masani, pur, I to kel kodi okorom. Then it is your mawacho, your moko koro kopito. Keep a junia, kodi no kel noa, one kodi no komiwa, kodi no rumo to nagi chico niki kel to be. I mean, really? Nato se puroni? O kipith kodi marnya luomo de you did something. Ipith karanya mula. Iket kata bell or whatever it is. No. Because no se purni, koro nego beni mi kodi, maka okel ni kodi, to puodo mano purno onindo. Ekaka puodo no nindo. So, how can we set and drive our development agenda? Kech puodo no ni pure gi pesa ni, I can assure you didn't pay them. But because of poor nigo, or kobadi nigage person, you got him ranadi or kodeye. The other is that what will facilitate the formation and running of what is called common interest groups. Every group, give me a team as a group. You may have formed that group or you may not, but you are interested, let's say in sunflower. You are interested in jug. You are interested in pido olembe makelo minyalo press gomagol oil. What are you interested in? Interested in yango, interested in loss of barbed wire, interested in chako. Whatever you are interested in is your common interest group. Our role will be to now look for those who are also interested in the same thing you are interested in, and then to koro now you form your group and we can support you in the capacity building of no Rotary College. No, we don't have the money. But in capacity building of like idwa chako pindo matunda, itim nango, which one works best for you. The other thing what timo is what one nurture individual and collective agency. Agency means believing in myself that I can do something. So you empower individuals and groups and families to believe and act on the ability to make and sustain change. What will foster, and I want us to pay, this is something that is very close to my heart. What will foster non-exploitative partnerships by ensuring the development projects within the region meaningfully benefit people in those regions. And I want to give an example, and I'll give it also in another session where I'm talking about our market. I went to a place and went into a bank, and in this bank, nitie ngato mobiro mwaka machielo. Ma is not anyola. And supermarket, not supermarket, hardware. And gives multiple hardware in this small town. It's not too small, it's medium size. And then Odonjo bank, Odonjo kamaniti bulk transaction. To koloro dot. Or anbede kamwabeti ma adito card receipt amondo luonga. Of course, agilo ye kanyo. Tade no kogolo long malo to wo the pesa a source. No dema motuyo madongo mangeng. And this is a community hapa nikatoka lugo nyingi tu brongegi. O akisumu to the obiro odi kamane antieno. Otingo chiembe, otingo sote, otingo pige, otingo everything. Manyiso ni onge gimonyeo kate da e market no, onge gimonyeo that little town. Otingo gigi obiro oko akucha, which is likely no nyewe dukunyawadi giko kuma no aeja. To biro to choko pesa ni, to dhi to kete bank, to odok Kisumu. So their role is now to mop up every single coin, to gitero, to ito kai to kata mana chieme kiosk makanyo, manyuola nigo oki chiemie, abebeba kila kitu. So they just come and mop every single cent wanatoa. Wanakuja wanamop wanaenda, wanakuja wanamop wanaenda. Gengine ni jaluo bro nyepo anywhere. Will not just say ni nyaka nyepo ne yango e kabindwa. And so, how can we turn this around so that they let them come and do business, but how does that business benefit local people beyond tingo gonia mutingo goods mitere eduka? So what is it that we need to do to make sure that either they come, they work where we are, they benefit the local communities in ways more than being gunde, or how do we turn some of that around from us? I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why from us. The other thing is to establish a marketplace. Once they establish a marketplace already, we are fine-tuning it on our website. And this is a marketplace where if you have goods to sell, if you have services to sell, you place it on the marketplace and then people will see gig maingo. Marketplace you sell your services, you sell your expertise, you sell your goods. Tibene sell goods to please deliver. Because sometimes we also get people and they don't deliver. They don't deliver because someone in order dala nana gero to also gifunda chiel kende manoti mona graves manogero na order contractor or weka witata chwer manyusha had to replace the entire witado within 3 years kakoro kanyal ase omufunde moloso motamre losre ja kiango oweya gi pesa ami pesa to disappear go. So we also need to present gigwago in a way that people would buy, not the people thinking nika biro nyepe dukani to you are doing me a favor by selling to me. I have other options. So why should I go to Luo kaja luo bro loso koda marach bro niro na waj. So we need to change, but we need to also bring the money back home. And then we need to address the challenges to development. I've talked about Kitwa and our attitude towards Jomaburu Nyepo Irwa. We make it feel like we are doing you a favor by you are doing us a favor by selling to us, and you don't know that we have options. And then we will also support philanthropic giving. We do not need to chandre ya ukweli. Chandre because not because they are lazy, but chandre because they've tried every namna. And we will know. We know Magmiriago, and me have had where I have been duped. But one time I'm thinking, we are paying fees for Nyithindo Manonyol Odoke school. Karawachu no fees mar nyathiba sagi nyathiki ango gi nyathiki ango. Molok nyaka nyig molok nyaka certificate. Motimo nyaka form 4. Kakoro now daktari moro dwa miya opportunity for nyithindo mag that organization mantie machielo no, which is a give back to the community. Koro daktari moro wacha ni olunga gani nyamajiwa. Nyamajiwa nyalo angi positions, angi opportunity mar MTC, mar clinical officer kata nursing training. Kelna one of those girls who say build more city for form 4. Don't give me this lady's name. Kako lady no biro, kura neno kuna ka pek ne kelo certificate. Tawani no opportunity you say work, daktari you say mea opportunity ma MTC mondedeo. Kana kelo certificate. The certificate is reading a different name. It's like you brought somebody else's certificate. At that point is when I was learning Nikara nesu kudni ose winjire the person mane konyo coordinate this program. Makoro meo this opportunity to somebody. Koro iloso ga report forms ariyo. Ikelo nwa manigi nying mawaparo nwa chulo nega fees ni. To manyako cha digo dala to nigi nyinge ya ukweli. Koro of course ko ditimo pain to timo gi nyinge ya ukweli. Koro niti opportunity mabiro ini paro ni konyo nyako mano thagre. Mano nyole dala, mane ni dala modoke school ni doke school mi puonjo up to form 4. Then it ends up ni you puonjo nyathi somebody very well known ma is able. You realize when it is all over. And so I digress. But those are the kind of things that machido chunji. Kidwa konyo, tuwadwa ni konyo ngama genuine. And therefore we are going to have as our objective identifying genuine needs. Even the Bible says, Jesus said, the poor will always be with you. So the poor will always be there. But it is not poverty that is self-induced. Because pesa na madogo kongo, tadwa ni puonji na nyati. And pesa na achodogo, tadwa ni puonji na nyati. Or da yichuer, because pesa na adonjo go gambling, tadwa ni mondo uchok pesa mondo timango, ukonya gambling. No. One thing that I don't do for me, I don't know about you, is I don't encourage irresponsibility. But they're genuine cases, and we shall identify genuine cases ya ukweli, not where where you want to shift your responsibility to others and support those ones. And then we are going to engage with the county and even the national government in areas where we can cross-refer or work together, and other like-minded stakeholders. And finally, our objective is to ensure financial transparency and accountability, as we had said. And so we need to change the narrative. We need to change the trajectory. We need to loko kako sekawa kaka nyola. Osekawa kaka joma lazy, osekawa kaka joma bayo mnakite, osekawa kaka joma andamano, osekawa kaka joma kao chako anwa kwe kieri vale to wabrotho kia kao giri ne anwa kanye to bede Nyasaye to ber yawa. Nyasaye ber basa moro wane ma pok no miwa chiemo. Ne miwa chiemo kwa sirikal pok no miwa. To pari ni nebe ni miwa chiemo kwa sirikal do ni waseto yawa. The way mochawa goni one ne waseto. But as we speak, Nyasaye konyowa omiyowa whether ma we get what we can feed on. And sometimes the sad thing is that why you do kaka jisha wakeo maber. To joka biro tata giloche to kaote to chokote to mob to bego. Then after 3 months, kech kayo give us the same things that they got from us. We need to change the directory. We need to change that narrative. And we need to be the change, we need to take control of our development and our market. Our development and our market, we need to take control of that because it is slipping away through the cracks of our fingers. We need to believe in our ability to make the change that we want. And Wanemanyako will define that change. And we must identify resources from within rather than from out. Jamadwa konyo from out will find us how wangiyo wadi, wanendara wadi. Gibro juko wato give me one. Of course we'll take anga to kelo. But we are not going to sit and wait. Ni ajo okogino konywa, serikali no bikarango, kianga no mano konywa, jo siasa kikonywa, jo kiango kikonywa. No, wakonyre kendo and then let them join us. We have to hold each other's hands. That is part of changing the narrative. Because wakere, idwaro ni makari mondo dongi, mondo yine mondo ioneni. But what about the others? When are we going to hold them? Because even you at some point somebody held your hands. We must shift our focus and expectations from politics. And that one I'm saying without shame or fear. Politics need to take part and role more play and very critical. Very critical. And politics, and I want to say really without mincing words, that without the politics from our leaders, some of our leaders, some of the changes at the national level would not have happened. And I want to say that very clear. Some of the changes that we see from 2002, those of you who are old, didn't put one multi-party. Didn't they change to this governance system Akoro is devolved. Had to change iso. So without contribution from the politics of here, give you a matek, or didn't change your gigu. So that at national level is something we appreciate. Totally, totally. So I'm not trashing politicians. I'm saying that they have a role that they are playing to us at the national level. At the county level, I feel sana. Me, I only feel Gladys Wanga. For now, the others may pull out. But as I speak, to be very honest, because me, I believe in what I see. I believe that people can actually use the money from the public to benefit the public. And I'm seeing that happening. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud, and I'm one of her cheerleaders. I'm one of her cheerleaders that, show it that pesa mani Uganda inyalutiwa modotimango modoponyo Uganda. So we'll hold the politicians accountable. We appreciate the role they are playing, especially those who have played the role to get us to the level of democracy that we have. But we are also saying that we are getting a raw deal at our level, at the county level, in many of our counties. We are getting a raw deal. And that one I'm saying without fear. I said earlier on, I don't rely on the government for salary. I don't need their salary. I want us to come to the table as partners that are interested in developing the Luo community. Not as somebody who this way, a office giving me a teach, me and Yathiwa teach. Yathiwa can teach or Kabiswedra. Kina no qualify, Mpatie. How qualify? Give the person who has qualified. And in short, we need to set our development agenda and follow through. Not setting teacher, there's one podcast where I will enumerate at least 100 projects, Sani, a lot of people are talking to me. At least 100 projects in the 4 counties we invested on, and nothing is going on. Or very little is going on. And yet we have the leaders. And so KISIHOMI donje ni wakwa ni kaka nyola wawe rito kony mwao. I've said this again, nikech kony go rumo, ka kony go rumo to projects go be rumo. Be wawe rito ni kony go biro wuok no ir sirkal. Nikech was said it for long. Or kwaneka biro no eyoma at the same level mwanene ko di yo machielo. And actually, to tell you the truth, and this is my own, I don't know it, I could be wrong. But one of the reasons momiyo inenoka the people were concerned about the so-called handshake then. And I've lived in this world long enough to know. And I hear and I have a lot of connections. It's not because one person from Luo and one person from Kikuyu agreed to work together. No. From what you hear from the ground, and it was in offices everywhere, this is the handshake Wajaluo ndio wanafaidika. Sijui ninyo imefunguliwa wapi, sijui oyaunda rakanye, sijui kiokela ngo, Wajaluo ndio wanafaidika. Tineno ka wangu iji level moro mangato nyalo kata dere nikech Mjaluo oya oketne ndara moro kanyo. It's like you sit back and you ask, ni yani sisi oknonego benwa wa benefit from the taxpayers' money where we are paying taxes more than a lot of other people. Kejimacho taxes must straightforward, ginjok matiyo, and we like teach micha mumsara end of month. So the biggest thing that people elsewhere Nijaluo no benefit yani ni lifting ato mangato dwa hinyre jomani offices magine mawache ni Wajaluo sijui ura alienda kafungua sijui wapi kwa Wajaluo sijui nini, yani Jaluo no konego bed ni benefit from anything that is coming from the same tax that they are paying. And that is the bone of contention. It's not like two individuals, Raila and Uhuru, agree to work together. The fact that the Luos were benefiting from the government coffers was a big issue for a lot of people, because as far as they are concerned, the Luo okonego benefit from the government, which is very sad. But tax to get more interested, but to get that tax to help us is such a thorn in the flesh of a lot of people from Kabinde Mogo, which is so unfortunate. So what you mark there, you say Niswa. Hey, you say Niswa, what you mamma, you Luo the, you Luo what, you Luo da Madare, you Luo da Kiakanye, Kia you Luo se by Okita to Brodok, Kibira, Kia Dokure, Kia Dokure. One thing that makes me so proud, whether you're in Homa Bay, in Sia, in Migori, you Luo Gedo. And that is the only positive thing. It's hard to talk about something positive from something so negative. But if 2017 did something, 2007, Tulo Maja, it made Luos open up their minds and start building. And I feel so proud when I see Luos Ute Magju Luo Gero. And you know what is happening? Jaluo will never win. On the one hand, Jaluo onge watch, Jaluo onge out, Jaluo onge kiango, Jaluo kia onge ango, Gionge ute, kia gigere ute machanadi, kia Jaluo kio dark town, kio timrenad. Do Jaluo kuro shakle gedu, kuri the current narrative koro. Dead investment, kusi luena get dead capital. Yeah? Koro gia ni Jaluo, moko Jaluo geri Jaluo kiango kio kiango, kakoro Jaluo gedu, dead capital. Ango mi out, maduongi nyalo bigere kor kwen. Jaluo will not win either way. Wrong. If we call it wrong, why don't we stop pleasing anybody and do what we want to do because we want to do it, rather than do it because we're going to please anyone? We will never win. You do this, you won't get ute, kioti mrenadi, udake town, ulala oko, kiduoki geto, dead capital, gibaduoni gero daranadi. Kore Jaluo timamo. You know? So let's stop listening to anybody. Let's listen to ourselves and do what we need ourselves. So Wasechako enlist group Magdongo already. Wasechako enlist, there are new ones that are approaching us to help them build. There are those that have built that we are supporting to enlist. We are assessing their training needs. We are actually starting training on dairy farming on the 28th of this month. So that those who are interested in starting dairy farming, and I'm one of them, we want to put together. There is also interest in poultry, there's interest in horticulture, there's interest in just general agribusiness. And we want to just notice that KISIHOMI is complementary to other development initiatives. So we are not taking over. KISIHOMI is not taking over. We are not competing. So KISIHOMI is not competing with any other. because we believe that we can build on each other's strengths. We believe that we can cross-refer, that ngani better area ni moloya. We believe that there's room for everyone as long as the goal is one, and that goal is Dongruok, Dala Kadala, Dongruok, Maranyola. KISIHOMI is not where members invest and then sit back and wait for dividend. You go to place a little bit to inhibit to dividend. You don't even work hard. You expect the leaders to do the work for you, and then you get dividend. No, KISIHOMI is where we work together. You come up with what you want to do. We help you to identify the gaps. We link you with the experts that can train you, and then you roll up your sleeve and you do the work. This is not where you invest. You sit back and wait for dividends. KISIHOMI does not have job opportunities. A lot of people, when I used to go to the radio, the calls you make, 70% of them are looking for jobs or help. KISIHOMI wants us to move away from that narrative. Nyaka konyo, nyaka miwa, handout, yuko jamna. What do you want KISIHOMI? Identify what you want to do, roll up your sleeves, and work with your team and do the work. And finally, we are an open book. Come anytime and you look at our books. We don't have anything we want to hide. Remember, we said transparency is one of our core values. Come check our books. Come give us ideas and we shall take what works. Come, critique what we want, as long as it is a critique that's positive. But please, 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 kikidonje mardupi. Kikidonje ni okidwa move forward, nikecho kine mani chake, nikecho kumi leadership, nikecho winji gimiwacho, koridwa duopi. Please, that is our request. Don't join to duopi, join so that we can move forward. And we want to promise you that forward we are moving. Forward we are moving. Okay? And so we will discuss at another forum how to become a member and how it works. But we ask you to join us and give 50 shillings a month. Every month, onge kama shilling prebish nyalotang. Moni join us together so that together we want to demonstrate that 50 shillings ngeny kaji ngeny kwa ureka nyakla. 50 shillings onge gimanya lotimo kai ngata chiana. If you are one person, hakuna kitu unaweza kufanya na 50 bob. To reji mangeny, the 50 shillings can help us to develop. We want to show the world that Riurok eteko. You come together with your 50 bob, we bring it together, we can do a lot of things. We'll tell you how your 50 shillings will be used in our next episode. We thank you, and we are hoping that you're going to join us. Mono wane Chakruok ekorgwengwa, wakel Dongruok ekorgwengwa, one wawegi, while holding politicians accountable. Erokamano.